Namaste.
Hello and welcome to the Sikkim Podcast brought to you by Summittimes. And in today's episode, we'll discuss the latest developments, which is candidates giving up their
three constituencies that go for by-elections, yes.
3 constituencies that go for by-elections. And the assembly session today, where a lot of drama happened. And some other trivia about the recent elections as well, which will come later. First, we'll start with the assembly session today and that drama hua tha. And since I don't know much about it, and I forgot to introduce who all are here with us today. So my name is Tshering and
I'm Pema Wangchuk.
I'm Uttam. I'm Raymond.
Yes. So 4 of us only. We wanted to get Paru also, but she's very busy.
Yeah.
So anyway, so Raymond and I, we don't know about what happened today in the assembly session, at least not details. So it's up to Uttam Daju and Mr. Wangchuk to explain to us what happened.
I know, it's still kind of confusing, and we have to be slightly careful how to word it, right? Given that the assembly is very particular about how things are worded about it. But basically what happened today is that the speaker was elected. The pro tem speaker administered the oath of office to all the MLAs. The ministers have already been sworn in, all the MLAs, and then the speaker was elected. So LB Das, the SKM candidate from West Pendam, the SKM MLA from West Pendam, is the new speaker.
Oh, LB Das is the new speaker.
Yes, that was announced earlier itself. So we have to be better informed than this.
What happens to Raymond Lepcha?
He's a pro tem speaker. See,
I thought they were the same.
They're not the same thing, because what happens is that the speaker, until the MLAs have been sworn in, they're technically not MLAs.
Okay.
And the speaker has to be elected by the MLAs. So, whereas who will then swear them in, give them the oath of office, which is why a pro tem, provisionally temporary speaker is a pro tem.
I think you only had said कि जो pro tem होता है वही speaker होता है, है?
वो तो कभी भी नहीं होता है.
So he was also elected as deputy speaker, huh?
The pro tem speaker.
Yeah.
So the tradition normally is that the pro tem speaker becomes the deputy, and then the MLAs. There is no fixed rule. Of course, you can nominate and elect the pro tem speaker, but normally the tradition is that in Sikkim has been that the pro tem speaker becomes the deputy, and the speaker is then elected by the MLAs.
Okay.
So that happened, and
Uttam Daju will tell us what happened
about the drama that transpired
assembly
there.
Assembly may, today was the first day of assembly, and both the parties from SKM and from SDF, they had to attend there. So the leader of the opposition party, Mr. Tshering also was there, and before assembly started, both the leader of the house from ruling and from opposition, they
Exchanged pleasantries.
Shook hands, namaste and all. And likewise, then the assembly started.
It is. Yeah, that is how boring things are. But today was supposed to be a boring day, right?
Yeah,
it was just the swearing,
swearing
in, and then they go.
But the thing is, that's the swearing introduction and the thing. But the thing is, in the meantime, there was high intense drama from the opposition bench saying how would Gole become the CM, and this is against the constitution or whatever. But there was protest from the opposition bench, and at the same time, from the ruling side, I think with this Kunganima and some of his ruling MLA, they protested saying that governor, since Mr. Tshering was I mean, leader for so many years, he should be knowing the constitution rules, like what governor can and can't do. So the question of like protesting out here doesn't like arise at something. And in the meantime, there was like high intense drama within both this thing. So the leader, I mean the speaker of the house, had to intervene, asking Mr. Chamling to to
be calm.
Sit down.
Sit down and thing. So Mr. Chamling, I don't know, with some reason he got upset, and along with all his MLA had to walk out.
Yeah, technically I think there is, because walkout, as we've learned in the past, when we've reported some departures from the floor of the house as walkout, we've been served privilege notices saying that this is not officially a walkout. So they left.
Okay.
They left.
What is an official walkout?
But this is carrying over from the British times. I think a walkout to be officially recognized, it means that you need to serve a notice and you have to announce it, and like.
So pehle se you'll have to do
You cannot,
it.
if you, I mean,
Then
the verb, if you just look at the verb of things, you are walking out, right?
Yeah.
But a walkout, to become official, you need to serve notice to the speaker and
That
things
we
like
are walking
We
out.
are walking out, yeah, and or you got to I don't know, announce it and things like that. But yeah, this is interesting because the point that Mr. Chamling raised was he quoted the Jayalalitha verdict of the Supreme Court, saying that since and as one of our listeners pointed out on our Facebook page, that it's not Gole, it is HCM Gole, anyways, which is a mouthful. Anyways, but the point remains that he raised the point that since Mr. Tamang, Mr. P.S. Gole, is not eligible to contest the elections, he is also not eligible to be the Chief Minister. Hence, his being here as the Chief Minister is unconstitutional. That was the point that Mr. Chamling raised. We don't know what he was getting to, as in what their idea was, that okay, how do we handle the situation, because it kind of the whole situation collapsed much before that and he walked out.
The whole drama started just because like actually आजको दिनमा, if you like really look into it, was not like really
there's
it
not
was just
supposed
an
to be a
introduction,
discussion.
like people coming in and then this
Swearing in.
getting at it, swearing in, and there was like त्यो discussion खालको चाहिँ
भएकै थिएन.
भएको थिएन. It was not like just a casual kind of thing, like त्यो leader भयो सबै notification गरे गयो होइन. But I guess like some people after the assembly, and I when like 2 or 3 reporters like Nimal Mangal, when they had an interview with त्यहाँको मान्छेहरुसँग, so like after the assembly when Chamlingहरु सबै walkout गरिसक्यो, then some people, I guess like they were like SKM supporters saying कि like Chamlingलाई चाहिँ गोलेलाई चाहिँ one त like opposition benchमा ऊ बसेको उसलाई साह्रो पर्यो. The other thing was to see across Gole in the CM leader of the ruling उसमा उसलाई digest भएन भनेर चाहिँ that the anger came out and the frustration came out.
That's what the people say,
People,
right? That's what the people are observing, and these are obviously very kind of pro-SKM voices. But what I was trying to get at is, yes, today was not a day to discuss these issues, obviously, but the House was there, the Chief Minister was there, and if the opposition has problems or has serious questions over Mr. P.S. Tamang being the Chief Minister, then today is as good a day for them to raise that issue, because he's there in the assembly among them and he's the leader of the house. So that point is one. But what is more worrying, the real drama, I mean, political discussions and booing and cheering in the assembly is not new to Sikkim. It's not frequent, but we've seen that in the last 5 years also. This has happened, right? SKM with just 2 MLAs, Congress with just 1 Acharya, Tshering Lama when he was a Congress MLA, Sangha. They made enough noise and they created enough scenes. There were a lot of theatrics. All that happened in the house, right? The MLAs do it. At some level, I feel they have the not responsibility. They have the right to do it, right? They are there. They are there to get themselves heard and speak for their constituent supporters or whatever. But what was unfortunate, and it's very important to see what happens next by way of administrative works, is that Mr. Chamling was booed and jeered from the visitors gallery as well, right? SKM supporters in the visitors galleries shouted insults from the visitors gallery down at Mr. Chamling, which has never happened in Sikkim before, right? Which has never happened in Sikkim before, and it's not something that you can take lightly, because, and if the Assembly Secretariat does not follow this up seriously, then it signals to a very worrying trend. And I'll give you an example about how obsessive the Assembly officials are about decorum. So when I was starting off as a reporter in Sikkim, I was given the assembly. I was given the assembly. Yeah, you were covering everything, right? So the assembly was in session, and I was one of the reporters there in the visitors gallery. Assembly proceedings are boring, right? If there is no discussions happening, it's very boring. They'll be submitting papers, speeches. It gets very boring. First, I crossed my legs while sitting on the bench there.
Okay.
A marshal, one of the assembly guards, actually came up to me and told me that you cannot cross your legs, you have to sit properly. I said, okay, I sat properly. Then I dozed off. The visitors gallery is above the hall, right? They cannot see what I'm doing. I dozed off. It was so boring. I dozed off. The marshal came to me again and he said, you cannot sleep. That is how particular they are about decorum. If from the same visitors gallery, insults are being shouted at members of the assembly, and proper action is not seen to be taken, I think it's a very worrying trend. I think it shouldn't. I personally have problems with it. I mean, I can understand that people have a right to their voice and they should be able to say whatever
Not
they
inside
say,
the
but that's not
assembly,
the place to do it. What do you think about it?
Yeah, of course, he has been like our ex-9.
Chief Minister.
Right now he's our ex-chief minister, but he used to be like looking after us for past 25 years. So like definitely like one who has served for 25 years in that chair needs to be given a lot of respect. Not just about the party and stuffs though, but as an individual, and especially inside the assembly. Yeah, it's about the line.
Yeah.
One thing, forget about the assembly. I mean, this is not something like where like two. I mean, it's like a football game, you know, two parties and
And you're cheering from the side.
Yeah, it's an assembly where like serious discussion and serious discussion and bills on stage on these that takes place. And so the thing is like everyone there apart from MLA and nothing, the people from bureaucrats to the visitors going there, and they has to show some amount of respect, not because this is our CM or that was our ex-CM. Just respect the flow, you know.
Yeah, it's
They can shout outside.
outside. Yeah, you raise your slogans
Yeah,
outside.
I mean,
You raise slogans against the motorcade in the assembly, because then that's just one step away from anarchy. Like you said, right? Football match ki tarah ho jayega na. Like in the assembly, when a bill is tabled, let's say a very progressive, very good bill is tabled, the visitors gallery does not get up and start cheering and clapping.
yeah.
Like, they don't allow that. Right? The only people who can cheer, boo, abuse each other, even throw microphones at each other are the people who have been voted into office there. Right? What do you think, because this has never happened in Sikkim before, right? What do you think could be, why did we see it this time?
Why did we see it this time? I think it's just a new government has come after 25 years, new MLAs, new chief minister, and his supporters were just excited.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, because I was also thinking about it as we were sitting here, and I think we have to I think social media, right, has also a role to play, because people are so used to kind of now saying anything in the comment section of Facebook posts. They think that any platform now they can, because now they are in office, they can get away by saying anything anywhere. But I think it's a very unhealthy.
No, it's very unhealthy
development, and I'm quite convinced that part of the, let's say, the ease with which people are doing this now is because they've been doing it for so long on
But
the Facebook feeds.
कौन होगा visitor है? Who do you think?
No, visitors are like party supporters. I mean, like anyone can go and get up. As citizens, the number of sofa or chairs that they have in the visitors gallery, anyone can apply, and if there is a place, you'll get a pass, right? Ab kaun hoga? And normally, every MLA will get certain number of seats because his people from his constituency might want to come, right? And journalists get, I don't think journalists raise slogans, I don't think that happens. It's obviously supporters, and it's obviously SKM supporters, right?
Fine. I mean, like it depends. I mean, if this is the norm, then SDF might be thinking, oh, tomorrow, I'll get my party card and ask them to stay there, no?
Wait,
But then ऊपर से कुछ भी फेंक दो.
What happened to the marshal at that?
जब ये हाँ वही तो
Yeah, I know. They could find me, like they could spot me sleeping, but they can't find these guys who are shouting slogans. So that is, it's still early right now. We don't know what happened immediately after that, right? We know that slogans were raised, but if slogans were raised and the marshals were not around or they could not do anything, see what normally happens is you got to remember one thing, right? It is so obvious that it was the ruling party supporters who did this. So the marshals will also think 10 times before they take action, right? They don't know. I don't know. They might have taken action. They might have escorted them out or whatever. Yeah, MG Marg mein, if I get drunk and shout and 3 people find that offensive, they can file a complaint and I can be arrested for creating nuisance or public disorder, right?
Yeah.
आप assembly में slogan raise करोगे और कुछ नहीं होगा.
So, I was just seeing this on Facebook that the SDF legislators have said they will not attend assembly as long as Mr. P.S. Tamang is the leader of the house.
Wow. Oh, that's their press conference. They had a press conference today, yeah?
Yeah, I think in the press conference they said that. So what will happen now?
We'll again go back to having those 2-minute assembly sessions.
Oof.
Where they'll come, they'll table something, everyone will support, yes, I support, and then go home. I don't know. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know, Sikkim has this...
Boycott wala
this boycott ban. I don't know, that becomes their first response, right? Kuch bhi ho gaya, we'll ban it, like ban non-organic vegetables or ban the entry of eggs and things like that. I don't think boycott and bans are the solution. Ideally, I would like to see them in the house and raise their arguments every time the assembly is in session and try to explain to the people and everyone else why they have that position. Because if they don't go to the assembly, if they refuse to attend, that's my personal opinion. I don't know what the political strategy is. But if they refuse to attend the assembly sessions, then how is any of this ever going to get on record, no?
And the one nice thing of this election was like prior to like 2014 or 2019, there was hardly any opposition in the thing, होइन. बिचरा एकजनालाई सबै थिचोमिचो होइन कमान्डर स्पेशलिस्ट ऊ आफै वर्कआउट गर्थ्यो नि त हामी used to work, होइन.
Acharya Tshering Lama you're talking about, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, like it happened so many things, you know, assembly session. But the thing is that nice with this election is at least you have one strong opposition. How उनीहरूले boycott गर्छ, they're trying to boycott, के गर्दैन. Okay. I mean, at least people of Sikkim, especially, they have that luxury of, you know, at least your assembly by healthy debate. Then criticism comes, not like just 2 minute सबने ताली मार्दियो and like at least there has to be some development, some like voice raising, objection file, this, that.
And on record, assembly is where you get on record answers, right? If I have got some problems in my constituency, I ask that question, त्यहाँबाट जवाब आउँछ. That is all on record, right? Even if it is boring answers, they record मा बस्ने कुरा हो. So the objections that SDF has about Mr. P.S. Tamang being the chief minister, press conference जति पनि गर्दा हुन्छ नि, press conference, press releaseहरुमा त. But assembly में the moment they raise this point, SKM will also be required to give an answer to that, no? They cannot avoid it. And just saying कि governor swearing like oath of office administer करे, that's no excuse, right? That is not enough. You need to tell me how was this legally possible and things like that.
And
so
I guess like that's the role of opposition, and just to raise the question so that people can be aware of like, oh, this is what they're doing for us. Because whatever the question they raise, that's not them raising; it's for the people. Right?
In an ideal situation.
Yeah.
But have you seen intelligent political debate even in the parliament?
So I know. So one question is that if all the 15 MLAs don't attend assembly, then jo 1/3
Quorum.
वो होता है, would that be possible?
No.
To approve bills?
No, the approved bills, some basic bills automatically, like it's also on the quorum. So the number of, many bills, the number of members present, uska percentage hota hai. So if the opposition boycotts it, then every bill will pass, isn't it? By a 100% majority, like endorsement or whatever. That will be there. But obviously, I'm sure SDF also understands that this is not a permanent position, right? They cannot forever. And I think it is boycotting. Boycotting has to be boycott from all public engagements, right? Like you cannot, boycotting is like you're just washing your hands off engaging, right? You have to be there, and you have to, like every assembly session, you have to raise a stink if that's the political position you're taking. You have to, like...
I really like resign गरेको छ from 3 हैन, from Gangstok, Martam and Poklok हैन. That means just CM ko like Gole ko after 6 months he has to contest, and now which area, I mean which constituency ulai छोडिदिन्छ. Then is a matter of like, you know, doubt. So that all thing, like rather than like boycotting, what I feel is like at least like the opposition healthy debate on not because the governor but I'm more oddie and like, you know,
assembly
people now see still people are in doubt कि 6 महीना बाद में क्या हो, like last discussion that we were having, you know, अभी भी आदमी का दिमाग में तो वही है ना 6 month के बाद, and you have a lot of like you know comments coming on Facebook, social media. But the thing is, that's not a concrete kind of thing. I mean, you may open your own, but the thing is, like, assembly, when the opposition party or ruling, when they come together regarding this CM, this, that, at least people can be aware on.
I know. So even you are not very cool with the idea of boycott.
No, I'm.
What about Raymond?
What I think is like, why are they boycotting? As in like their demands are not being fulfilled, and the first demand that they had raised in the assembly was to, like, you know, the honorable chief minister right now shouldn't be in his position, as in like he is not eligible to contest elections. Yeah. So like until and unless, in my perspective, as in like if I was in the opposition party and my demands are not fulfilled, as in like why, you know, the HCM is in the position without being, you know, without contesting the election, and like we say like
no,
you were saying something.
No, I was saying I can understand SDF's, how do you say it, their objection. That also I can understand. So I don't know, I'm conflicted.
No.
I don't know what, like...
Objection I understand. Yeah, we all understand their objections to it. But it does not mean that because the objection is right, this is the only next step that they can...
but then, I don't know if it serves any purpose, the boycott. That is there.
I pretty much don't know much about the assembly things and stuff. Like in a month, like for how long the assembly procedures are held?
Every quarter types, not...
As in like
now they'll have probably the budget session or something.
When?
July.
No, one thing.
So like till 6 months they might like attend up to probably 4 to 5.
Not even that many.
So like boycotting is the only option for them, I see, because like but there are the chances of the bill being passed, and the, you know, for an example, if like where in some constituency like SDF has won, SKM might not be willing to provide such nice bills passed in that constituency, as in like they have not won. So they cannot be. That cannot be handled by the SDF government, as in like they have already boycotted the assembly, as in like.
No, one thing.
There are pros and cons.
Yeah, one funny thing of this boycotting is like, purpose does this serve? I mean, like, see, आज boycott गर्थ्यो, tomorrow they might boycott. भोलि might think, oh, अब ज्यादा हो गया भाई, मेरो सीट ले लो, CM तपाईँ.
वो तो नहीं होगा.
See, that's the thing. What he was supposed to saying in the is right now, because the thing is like 15 opposition and 15 MLA from the opposition side on the opposition bench, meaning what he was saying was a bully, like, so example like you one family one job go cry maybe from tomorrow there might be going after each individual file, maybe think, oh, you guy is from SDL side. There might be something in the department saying, oh, you hamro guy, not you in 5 वर्षको लागि यसलाई, don't give him any because टुङ्गाएर राख्दियौँ. So who will speak for them?
Yeah.
And what will be the reason of for him to unnecessary harassment जस्तै हैन टंगाएर राख्छन्. I mean, what we say is like टुङ्गाएर राख्नु हैन.
Okay, moving on.
Yeah.
We'll just move on to another topic of the by-elections. And coming to by-elections, one reader had commented also, whether it is BY by-election or it is BYE. I mean, that person had said it is BY election and not BYE election. So, आपको क्या लगता है, Raymond?
What is the correct spelling of by-elections?
I think it's like by-election is not BYE, by-election. Like it's a standoff election, as in like by-election. Yeah.
आपको क्या लगता है, उत्तम?
Is election
followed
by election?
Oh, actually, that makes so much sense to get the spelling right. In election followed by
election.
BY. So we stand corrected.
Yes. So it's going to be BY from now on.
Yeah.
Anyways, first the serious clarification is that I looked it up on
Wikipedia
and it said BYE by election चाहिँ खाली आयरल्यान्डमा मात्रै हुन्छ अरे उनीहरूको स्पेलिङ. They have those AYE or whatever. तो BY चाहिँ rest of the world. तो हम भी BYE करेंगे अब से.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Thank you for pointing that out.
Yeah. Thank you. And so, next topic, the three by-elections.
Yeah, as things stand. I didn't know they would. Are they required to announce that on the first day?
So first, let's clarify. So Mr. Chamling had Poklok Kamrang and Namchi Singitang. So he has kept Namchi Singitang. Here, by-elections will be held in Poklok Kamrang. Then Mr. D.T. Lepcha has Martam Rumtek and Nathong Machong. He kept Nathong Machong. Martam Rumtek will go to by-elections.
Yeah.
And Kunganima
for
SKM had Gangtok and Shari. He's kept Shari and has gone for what am I saying?
Yeah, he's resigned from Gangtok.
Gangtok will go to.
Yeah, so we have by-elections now at Poklok Kamrang, Gangtok, and Martham Rumtek. It's like fascinating, That happens.
Uttam Rajam was very excited about something.
By-election, Kochi, like you told, was it necessary or too early to?
No, I think it is required.
Yeah, because 14 days of that, once you are elected, then you have to.
Within
14 days.
14 days?
Yeah, 14 days you have to.
Okay.
I mean, this was the first sign-us. Assemblies to everyone to get together. So, Azuni,
did they say it during the assembly session? No?
Say something, I mean, the confirmation say in writing to Akasaina, but it's already been out.
Pakka? Officially, no?
Maybe
notification bhi aa gaya.
Social media. Anyway,
No, because I'm quite surprised at the choice of Martham Rumtek actually. Maybe Gangtok does not surprise. I mean, see, what normally happens is you give up a strong seat for by-election, which is what Mr. Chamling did. He won from Poklok Kamrang by a huge margin, and Namche Singitang margin, like it was a very tight, close contest.
What was the difference?
377 votes in Namche Singitang. He won by 377 votes. Poklok Kamrang was like 2,000 something votes. It was a good victory at Poklok Kamrang. So you normally, and please excuse that banging noise. There's always some construction happening around our office.
Yeah.
So you normally give up a strong seat so that by-elections, what you got to understand is traditionally.
Okay, I'll just come back. The noise is like too much. We'll record in 2 minutes or 5 minutes or half an hour. Because of the noise outside, we'll have to cut this short, and the time is also like I think we're going over 30 minutes. Anyway, so we'll come back next. In the next episode, we'll discuss the by-elections, the Nota votes this time in the 2019 elections, what role they played, and also whether the BJP in Sikkim is on the rise.
Yeah,
because
worryingly.
they've got quite a number of votes. I mean, first time ever, I think they've got above 500, 600. Anyway, so that will come up in the next episode. Thank you very much for listening. And this is, again...
Yeah, this is Raymond Lepcha.
Uttam.
Pema.
And Tshering. Thanks for listening. Please like us on Facebook. Summittimes Daily is the name of our page. Share our podcast and our posts. Please comment. And we also have a YouTube channel. The podcast has a YouTube channel. So you can just search for the Sikkim Podcast. Thank you. Bye.